Sports Central on the Loop Information Station. I'm Grant Salzman. He's Vic Faust, and we have a busy Monday morning for a week without a Missouri football game the past weekend, but a lot happened in the SEC. Missouri takes on Texas A&M, and then in the second half of the show, around 10:35, Kareem Rush, the Tiger legend, will be joining us to talk about the upcoming Missouri basketball season. They opened their year at Howard tonight, so it's the busy time of the year, Vic. Football, basketball, all going on at once, and Mizzou basketball has a lot of promise this year.
Can't wait to talk about it with Kareem. I haven't talked to Kareem in a long time. He was so fun to deal with, by the way. When I was sports director in Columbia at KMIZ, Kareem allowed us to go behind the scenes with him and have video camera like all night long, like sleeping, getting up. He and Josh Kroenke lived together. They were best friends. And we did a really cool behind the scenes piece with him, and it was just a whole lot of fun. He was always so great to deal with. As good of a guy off the court, of course, as he was on the court. Silky smooth Kareem Rush.
Kareem Rush was drafted 20th overall in the 2002 NBA draft in 3 years at Missouri. He averaged about 19 points a game. So pretty good there.
He could have averaged more if they wanted him to or needed him to.
And we will be he'll be joining us a lot here. He does a lot for STL Sports Central. He'll be doing the post-game show tonight with Chris Pelican, so make sure to tune in over there as well. We have some SLU basketball coverage on STL Sports Central, but this is all about Mizzou. And let's get right into it. Tigers stay at 19. There were some upsets. Some teams jumped them. Some teams fell back. But that doesn't matter. All focus is on Texas A&M. You have a chance to welcome the number 3 team in the country into your home field. This would be by far the biggest win in the Elijah Drinkwitz era, at least regular season win, Vic.
Without a doubt. I would call it the biggest win, period. Even bigger than the Ohio State Bowl because, once again, and I'm assuming you were talking about the Ohio State Bowl win, right?
Yeah, that's the only one that I think you could argue would be
It would be the biggest. Number one, they have their full allotment of players. That's the only reason. 2, because it would put you back into the hunt in regards to a playoff win. 3, you're an underdog. And that's why I like this week. This is a game. I'll be there on Saturday. It's also my son's dad's weekend for his fraternity. Okay. So I can't wait to get to the game. Can't wait to watch. Now, it's always better when you know your team is an underdog. To me, there's zero pressure on Missouri. Mm-hmm. Zero. A&M has the pressure this week. They may like it. They may feel it. Every week they're playing right now is the 3rd-ranked team in the country. They have it. But this is the best team Missouri plays this year on their schedule. They're better than Alabama right now. Sorry, they're undefeated. They are better.
Yeah.
They're undefeated. There it is. They're ranked 3rd. You have them coming into home. Eli Drinkwitz with a chance to get a top 10 win at home against a top 3 team. The signature win of his career with a rookie quarterback, a freshman quarterback, true freshman quarterback. We'll get into the other side of it. You know, I call it the Achilles heel play calling. We'll see. We'll see where that. And I'm very more upset after watching what Texas did to Vanderbilt's defense. Yeah. That did not help Kirby Moore. No. Sorry, Kirby.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It just makes it
so excited.
So much worse.
Yeah, so I'm very excited about this week.
Yeah. You could have knocked that Vandy team
off. How about Alabama, too? I know. So there you go. I mean, it's one of those things that
the Alabama
woulda, coulda, shoulda.
The Alabama game is one thing because, Mizzou was the underdog. Bama's one of the best teams in the country.
Slight underdog.
They were an underdog against Vandy. And I walked away from that Bama game going, okay, Bama's probably a little bit better than Mizzou. Mm-hmm. Mizzou had so many chances to win, though. I walked away from the Vandy game going, Mizzou's a better football team than Vanderbilt. And it showed Vandy ended up, I think, only losing by 3 to Texas. But
that was they were blown out.
They were blown out. Vandy scored.
Game was over.
They scored some pity touchdowns at the end of the game. But how it stings more now knowing Mizzou could be, even with the backup quarterback, 7-1 and just, hey, we got to go 3-4. You expect to beat Miss State and Arkansas, and you got to find one against A&M or Oklahoma, who Oklahoma just went into Tennessee and knocked off the Volunteers.
Huge win. That's a huge win.
What I'll say is that there were some questions, I'd say last week, maybe the week before, is even if Mizzou goes 10-2, do they get in? Now it's 100% because now it would be knocking off a top 5 team in the country and an Oklahoma team that is a top 10 in the country, could be top 10 when you play them. If, you go 10-2, it's beating those two teams and you get in. Oklahoma right now is number 11th. Probably would move up to around 10 with them.
And this is another reason why I'm sorry, and I'm not trying to be disrespectful to the Big Ten, but your conference blows. I'm sorry. You have some teams at the top. Outside of that, you guys suck. And if you disagree, 855-282-8255. Wow. I mean, I am tired of Big Ten homers. That conference is brutal. Look at their top teams and who their schedules are. And I'm serious. And I have fact on my side. I don't think I'm being very direct about it. Then you look at anybody who's won it, and I said this at the start of the year. Be careful about calling Missouri's schedule easy until you see it at the end of the year. Look at the teams that they play when they play them and their ranks. And now you're going to add number 3 and a top 10 Oklahoma team on top of Bama already, on top of Vanderbilt. Yeah, you've got 4 of those. I mean, all freaking top teams right there when they played them.
Yeah, and Mizzou has to find a way to win out. What is your confidence level in them beating A&M? Do you think there's a chance? Because Marcel Reed could be a Heisman contender. Yeah. They run the football well.
There's a chance because of our defense. That's the only reason, not because of the O. No, you're going to have to play an incredible game from a defensive standpoint. Kirby Moore is going to have to call the best game of his life, and the Mizzou fans deserve it. You're going to have to get a break here or there. Your special teams are going to have to be the best that they've been all year. Yeah. Every coach is going to have to coach better than they did, and maybe, just maybe, you catch A&M on a bad day. That's a solid football team, top to bottom. They're solid.
Well, let's start on the offense. Mario Craver and KC Concepcion, one of the best 1-2 punches in the SEC. They run the ball well as well, and they have Marcel Reed, who's a beast.
Yeah, he is a beast, and he can run, he can throw, he is smart. They are coached well. They have done several things very well. Absolutely love what I see from A&M. That's why I call them the best football team that Missouri's played this year. All the way around. And I love, you got to stoke people sometimes on a Monday. You got to stoke them. You got to get them going. That's how you get the calls coming in. And of course, the calls are coming in.
Yeah, call in. I think Robert, is that who I have?
Yes.
Robert, Vic, he wants to debate
the
SEC versus Big Ten. Let's start, Robert. What's your
what else do you have besides your top 3 teams?
So I'm a Big Ten fan, so I'm a Michigan fan.
Okay.
Just to let you know up front. So I would say the SEC definitely top to bottom is a stronger conference. I think the 3 teams at the top, the Big Ten, are more elite than the SEC's best 3.
Okay. I don't think that's crazy. So when you go top 3, are you saying Indiana, Ohio State, and Oregon?
Right.
And what would you say the best 3 in the SEC are?
Oh, boy.
That's an easy question.
A&M, Bama. It's tough. There's 4 good teams in the SEC: Bama, Ole Miss, Georgia, and A&M. What would you say? Would you go A&M and Bama, and then Ole Miss and Georgia?
I would say Bama, Georgia, A&M.
Okay.
I'll tell you right now.
Maybe Ole Miss is the outlier there.
I think you're right there. Yeah. What do you have to say, Vic?
Yeah. Ohio State and Indiana, I like them better. Watching what I've seen so far, I like them better than what I've seen outside of Texas A&M in the SEC. A&M is every bit as good as either one of those 2 teams, in my humble opinion. Then you may have the next 2 best teams. But what I'm talking about is when you have these teams that you have to go week in, week out, taking on top 15 teams. You just don't have that in the Big Ten. In the SEC, you've got that most every week with the top teams. And that's where the battle of attrition comes. That's where the injuries play.
I'm losing you guys, so I'll hang up and listen.
All right. Thank you for the call.
Thanks,
I appreciate
Robert.
it. Jumping in, Robert.
Call.
As I was stating, and I'll restate it from your standpoint, I think A&M is better or is every bit as good. I really do, than Indiana and Ohio State. I really do.
Yeah.
And because of the line play.
I think you guys found some common ground there, though.
Well, he didn't, but when I said what I said, it's about the conference, not the top.
Yeah.
It's the conference. Week in, week out, look at the teams that SEC's competition is having to play. The rankings.
Yeah.
You don't have it in the Big Ten.
No,
I don't have it in the Big Ten.
Once you get outside of the top 3 in the Big Ten,
no,
I don't. I think I pick just about every SEC team
absolutely.
over. Maybe besides the bottom 3.
Yes, and still would love to see them play.
But I do agree with Robert's point that maybe the top of the Big Ten right now is better than the top of the SEC. I don't know. I
think that's debatable. The top 3.
I think Ohio State's the best team in the country, so that helps. Indiana.
I really like Indiana, though. I think Indiana has a better win.
I think
technically Indiana should be number 1.
I think that, and I think Bama's the best team in the SEC still. That's my opinion.
Well, then that's showing the strength of the SEC.
But I do see Robert's
because I like Bama. I mean, I like A&M better.
Yeah, I see Robert's point though of where the top of the. I could agree with that point that maybe those top 3 are better than the SEC's top 3, but top to bottom, Robert said.
But the SEC doesn't even have top 3. The SEC has a top 4 that you have to consider,
and maybe Texas too.
And then you've got the next group, which blows away anything that the Big Ten has. That's what I'm talking about.
Vic.
When it comes to the competition level, here comes Archie. Here comes Texas,
Georgia, and then home against Arkansas, home against A&M. And that Georgia game, they will have a bye week for as well.
Here's the other thing.
That could be the game of the year.
But look at Texas. There. I mean, after the schedule that Texas has had and what they've already played, they still have to play A&M, and they still have to play Georgia. Once again, SEC showing its way once again, just how freaking incredibly difficult it is in the SEC.
Yeah, they played Oklahoma, who at the time was the number 6 team in the country. Vanderbilt, who at the time was the number 9 team in the country. They did get 2 easy teams with Kentucky and Miss State, who took them to overtime, and obviously a loss.
Yeah, I'm shocked by Texas. I was shocked by Texas. Shocked that they got that win.
Over Vandy?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought they would steamroll.
But only why? Because of how big they were up in that game. But tell me this, and this is why the AP poll is terrible. Anybody who votes in it, it's like, come on. Who won the Texas OU game?
Texas did.
How the hell is Oklahoma still ranked ahead of Texas with the same record?
Vic, I don't really know.
That's a problem.
But
that's where the problem with people who vote in the AP. It's like, let's just be real about it. Come on, be honest.
The good thing is the AP poll doesn't matter.
Not anymore.
It
does for the season though until the playoff comes.
I believe is it tomorrow? The first rankings
tomorrow night.
Are out? Yeah, so
tomorrow night
the AP poll will not matter after today. Right now, Missouri is 19th. To your point, Vic, Texas is 13th. Oklahoma is 11th. There's some fraudulent teams on this list. I don't think BYU is very good. I still don't think Virginia is very good. Georgia Tech just lost to NC State.
And gave up a ton of points.
Yeah, that was embarrassing.
See, that stuff doesn't happen in the SEC. It happens in these other conferences.
Well, the ACC and Big 12 aren't very good. I think Utah is a good team. If they run the table, I don't think anyone wants to play them with the way they run the football and play defense. But let's get back to this Missouri game against A&M. While Marcel Reed's a beast, and this offense is great, this might be the best defense in all of college football. Their front 7 is just full of NFL guys. Their D line is just full of NFL guys, and that's what makes things very scary, Vic. Obviously, they had that game against Notre Dame where they gave up 40 points, but they won. But since then, 10 against Auburn, 9 against Mississippi State, 17 against Florida. Then they got in a shootout with Arkansas, who has a pretty good offense, gave up 42, and then 25 to LSU. But that was just a butt whooping that they put on LSU. This team's scary. This team is scary. And I don't know. Missouri's O-line is going to have to play the best game of their season.
Yeah, they are.
I don't know how Matt Zollers will have time to throw. And on top of that, if Zollers does have time to throw, he's got to be able to throw or run the football with Ahmad Hardy. And I think A&M has a chance to eliminate the run game, which puts all the more pressure on a true freshman, 19-year-old Matt Zollers.
Well, let's just put it this way. Nobody can eliminate the run game more so than what Auburn did. Missouri, I mean, can you imagine being anything worse than what we saw with Auburn?
And I think that Auburn defense is right up there with A&M.
I can't imagine it being worse. the reason I think the run game will be better, even against this incredible good team, is because they're playing at home. And I believe somehow, some way, Kirby Moore is going to prove his $1 million+ salary as an offensive coordinator. He's going to prove Eli Drinkwitz worth. I'm speaking this into existence. And he's going to have the best game plan that he's had. And maybe the opportunity to kind of catch A&M off guard. They don't know what Missouri's coming out and doing.
Yeah.
They have no film. And the film that they have on Zollers
is just
against
stepping back and throwing.
Yeah, that's not film. And it was thrown into. Now you've had 2 weeks to design it. Of course, they'll have an incredible defense. And if I'm A&M, I'm blitzing the hell out of a young quarterback until he proves you can't. You just hope maybe Missouri can get it. For Missouri to win, they're not a comeback team. I hope I'm wrong. But for them to win, they need to get a lead. They've got to get a lead. They've got the number 1 defense in the SEC.
Yeah.
And they've got, top 4 defense nationally?
Mm-hmm.
But the other teams that are ahead of them don't play the schedule that Missouri does. That defense is going to keep them in.
Yeah.
I'm hoping and praying. I believe they are.
It has to be an ugly game to win this football game, I think.
I'm not that smart. I don't know. I'm
saying I think for Missouri to win, it has to be a low scoring, control the clock, maybe create some turnovers off Marcel Reed. That's I don't think Missouri can win this in a shootout.
Unless
he's the truth. I don't know.
We're like, damn, here's our offense running all over the field. We're throwing because nobody has any film of our receivers doing down the field routes and catching the ball this year.
Yeah.
Zero. Maybe Kirby opens it up and we go, oh my God, Bo Prabula was an albatross.
I'll go. I think for Missouri to win,
would be crazy to think
they have to give up less than 20. And I think the situation, if it's like that Alabama game, how it went, Missouri just needs to hang around. To your point, they can't get down by a lot. But if they're within a possession in the fourth quarter, all bets are off. The defense has done their job and the team has done their job. If they're within touching distance at the start of the fourth quarter, I think that has to be the goal. Because if you get down 14 early, you don't want to put your true freshman into a pass only. And to your point, A&M can just blitz.
Well, A&M is averaging 37.8. So they're averaging about 38 points a game.
Yeah. And they've only given up about 203 yards per game.
Missouri's averaging 35.4 points, but that average has been decreasing over the past couple of weeks big time.
Yeah.
That's a problem. It's like something's got to give when those two things meet. But on the flip side, when you look at the defensive standpoint, Missouri is giving up the fewest amount of yards of any team, including OU and Georgia and A&M and Auburn. So that's where, hey, if you're going to hang your hat on something, you hang it on defense. But then once again, here we go. You can't be missing field goals.
Yeah.
Your punter has to do what he has to do.
I thought it was a good punting game. I know that people don't care, but I thought special teams on punt was very good against Vandy. Pinned them deep a few
penalties.
times.
You can't have the penalties and you can't have the turnovers.
Do you think that Robbie Meyer will be the kicker on Saturday?
No, I don't know. Who else would it be?
I don't know. They have that kid from that NAI school.
Oh my gosh. He was posting videos in the last 2 weeks.
I saw that. He was drilling them.
He was drilling them.
Do you?
I was like, oh, so now he's posting after his teammate was missing field goals. Welcome to 2025. That kind of stuff.
Kickers are cutthroat, man.
Well, I guess in NIL time they are. If you would have done that in my day, coaches would have suspended your arse. I mean, you're like, everything has changed. But you know what? If you got a kicker that's missing, you got a guy that's out here going, hey, I'm just waiting for my chance. Look at me banging this ball through the uprights.
It's a lot easier in practice.
The crowd's not out here. I'm not
aren't on.
I'm not offset.
Do you think that Missouri needs to step up their splash plays? Marcel Reed's a guy who will be able to extend the play, but we see in college football sometimes that hurts. Sometimes I can break out of this one more tackle. I can make this throw, and they put it in dangerous areas. We've seen Marcel Reed do it a few times. He did it. I think he threw 2 first half picks against LSU. The splash plays need to come in. Sacks, turnovers, forcing some havoc on this A&M.
That's what Missouri's.
Defense.
But Missouri's done that all year.
I agree.
Is Reed better at escaping and running than Diego Pavia was when Missouri played him?
I would say they're of equal.
Maybe equal.
Reed might be a little quicker than Pavia.
But look what Missouri did to Pavia.
Yeah.
I mean, he was still shell-shocked when he got stepped on the field in Texas.
He didn't know what happened to him.
Hell no. I mean, seriously, he had no idea what he was doing.
And that's what's going to happen.
In that Missouri game. That's why I'm confident that Missouri can give themselves a shot because their defense is so good. The play calling, the whole thing again comes up. You've had 2 weeks to prepare. A&M has had 2 weeks to prepare.
Yeah.
The weather looks to be perfect again for Missouri coming into this game. What do you got? A sold out crowd.
230 kick, sold out.
Yeah. What do you got? Missouri? And of course, you and I talk about lines. I saw it open at 5.5 with FanDuel. You saw it somewhere else.
It's now at 7.
And then I saw it go to 6. And then I didn't know. And it's 7 on
DraftKings.
Okay.
So Missouri is a touchdown underdog right now.
Okay. A touchdown underdog at home.
At home. Are you interested in that plus?
Maybe. The problem is we don't know what we have as Zollers.
What would if you had to give a final score prediction right now, what would it be? I feel like it's hard on a Monday.
Yeah, very difficult. Let's see how the rest of the week progresses. I mean, if we even know, because they're going to keep things close to the vest, and we don't know.
So too.
Yeah, if
then I'll say this, what is the key to Missouri winning? What are a couple keys? What do they have to do to win this football game?
Turnover battle, number 1. You got to win the turnover battle. Meaning you're not.
I think they need to win it by 2, maybe.
Maybe. My one thing is about the little things you said, the margins. Yeah. Isn't that what you call it?
Yeah, that's what we like harping on. Yes.
You don't have stupid penalties. You don't miss any field goals. You don't have any turnovers, and a turnover is going for it on 4th down and not getting it. That's a turnover. Those little things you've got to do those things first,
and they need to be efficient on both sides of the ball on 3rd and 4th down, because they have been bad offensively on 3rd and 4th down, and they've been not great defensively on 3rd and 4th down as well.
Okay, how about I do this? How about I take one area?
Give us one.
Offensive line.
Yeah,
I'm going to go offensive line because Zollers, you already know. He's not as much of a runner as Perbula.
He was moving okay, though.
He was, but he's not
as elusive.
Yeah. Meaning he's more of a stationary throwing target. Meaning he's got to have some time to throw.
Yeah.
So I'm going over line.
I'll go D-line. If somebody's going to wreak havoc and create turnovers, yes, maybe the corners will reap the benefit of some picks, but it will be because of pressure.
Yeah.
It'll be because you shut the run game down. You shut Marcel Reed running the ball down. That, I think, is the key for the Missouri defense. It starts with the D-line play up through the secondary.
Yeah.
And we're going to need linebackers again. And that's a group I trust with Trotter, though. He's unreal.
Yeah. No, I mean, this is why I'm looking forward to really watching the game. I'm not nervous because, once again, there's no pressure on Missouri.
Yeah.
There's no pressure. As a fan, you're not supposed to win now. Okay. You lost your quarterback. A&M's good. So now you can watch it. Okay. You want to see him play well. But now, and I feel the players are going to go all out in this too.
Oh, yeah.
I think the coaching staff, I think the pressure comes off of Kirby more, and he has a good game.
I think so too. I think that if Missouri can't get them ready with 2 weeks of prep, the season, well, obviously the season will be, you won't reach the expectations that you were hoping.
Yeah, there's no reason to think that A&M can drive up and down the field in this Missouri defense when nobody else has. The only way I think that could happen is if the offense doesn't have sustained drives and the defense is out there for a long time, and maybe in the second half they start to get worn down a bit. That's the only way I see that happening.
Okay. Well, we're going to go to a quick break. Then we're going to talk about a team that does have some expectations and has a game tonight that they're definitely supposed to win. Missouri plays Howard in men's basketball to kick off the season. We will have Kareem Rush joining us as well. This is the Loot Information Station. We're live on demand at lootinfo.com.
You've seen this. It's brand new. Are you online?
Oh, hey. Oh, so you're new here.
All right, let's get cracking.
Okay, then maybe you should check out our website.
You're insane.
Well, you download songs illegally from the internet.
LouInfo.com. LouInfo.com. The Lou Information Station. 590 AM KLIS, Wood River, St. Louis.
Our origin story begins.
People ask all the time, who the heck is Low Cost Airlines? Well, we're not just one airline. When you're talking to us, you're talking to everyone. We are the discount supermarket for all airline tickets. Plus, we have all the airlines and always have the best prices. American, Delta, United, plus all the specialized international airlines and a lot more. And we make it easy. We guarantee you'll talk to a live human in 60 seconds. You can have the rate you need and have your trip booked in 5 minutes. Now, how cool is that? And remember, when you're talking to us, it's like talking to every single airline available with one fast phone call. All you need to do is call and find the best prices to fly wherever it is you want to go. So are you ready? Call Low Cost Airlines right now. 800-298-0306. 800-298-0306. 800-298-0306. That's 800-298-0306.
LouInfo.com news headlines. Brought to you by Brown and Crouppen. GetBC.com.
With your LouInfo.com news, I'm Jared Sorello. One person has died after a shooting in St. Louis over the weekend. Authorities say the man was shot and killed in the 7100 block of Alabama Avenue. The incident Saturday afternoon. The victim has not been identified. Police say the investigation is ongoing. A former St. Louis television news anchor is now accused of killing her mother. Police in Wichita, Kansas say 47-year-old Angeline Mock was arrested last Friday for allegedly stabbing her 80-year-old mother to death. Mock was an anchor for KTVI Fox 2 from 2011 to 2015. She's now charged with first-degree murder in Wichita. Hazelwood police are asking for the public's help in finding a missing man with dementia. An endangered silver alert advisory was issued for 85-year-old Clifton Miller. For the Lou Information Station, I'm Jared Sorello. We're streaming 24/7 at louinfo.com.
Now, LouInfo.com weather. Presented by STL Sports Central. St. Louis sports. Anytime, anywhere.
Here's your LouInfo.com weather update. Plenty of sunshine today, and we're headed for the mid-60s. High pressure over the southern plains is also covering our area for a while. It'll be partly cloudy for the overnight hours, low 40s, and then getting a little gusty on Tuesday, but it will stay sunny. We're headed for about 70 on the afternoon high, wind kicking up to about 25 miles an hour. Sunny on Wednesday. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton for the Lou Information Station, streaming 24/7 at louinfo.com.
This is Mizzou wide receiver Kevin Coleman Jr.
And I'm Mizzou linebacker Josiah Trotter.
When we hit the field, we have each other's back.
And off the field, we got James Carlton and State Farm covering us.
Thanks, fellas. Nothing beats college football season, and nothing beats saving money. Just by getting a quote from our office and mentioning Mizzou, we'll make a donation to support Mizzou's will to win push on your behalf. No strings attached.
So you're supporting the team just by checking your rates. Doesn't get any easier than that.
It's so easy. Check them out online at cartoninsurance.net. MIZ-STL.
Fast Track Auto Transport has been a trusted leader in vehicle shipping for over 25 years, providing reliable, affordable service across the U.S. Fast Track offers fast and safe transportation solutions for individuals, dealerships, fleets, and businesses of all sizes. The Fast Track team prides itself on honest communication, competitive pricing, and real-time tracking, which gives our customers peace of mind from pickup to delivery. Whether you're shipping a single car or managing a large fleet, Fast Track delivers a smooth, hassle-free experience every time. Come see why Fast Track Auto Transport has been St. Louis's go-to company for all your vehicle transport needs for over 25 years. The trusted way, the safe way, the Fast Track way. Visit ftautotrans.com or call 636-677-9004. That's ftautotrans.com or call 636-677-9004.
Is your brand stuck on the sidelines? Tired of feeling like your marketing budget is just warming the bench? Well, then it's time to get in the game with Eyesight Media. We don't just put your brand near the action, we put you in the action. Imagine this, your company front and center, showcased in NCAA and pro stadiums and arenas nationwide. If you're ready to elevate your brand to MVP status, don't miss this shot. Visit eyesightmediagroup.com today to apply for an in-arena partnership. That's eyesightmediagroup.com.
People ask all the time, who the heck is Low Cost Airlines? Well, we're not just one airline. When you're talking to us, you're talking to everyone. We are the discount supermarket for all airline tickets. Plus, we have all the airlines and always have the best prices. American, Delta, United, plus all the specialized international airlines and a lot more. And we make it easy. We guarantee you'll talk to a live human in 60 seconds. You can have the rate you need and have your trip booked in 5 minutes. Now, how cool is that? And remember, when you're talking to us, it's like talking to every single airline available with one fast phone call. All you need to do is call and find the best prices to fly wherever it is you want to go. So are you ready? Call Low Cost Airlines right now. 800-298-0306. 800-298-0306. 800-298-0306. That's 800-298-0306.
And welcome back to Mizzou Central on the Lou Information Station. Grant Salzman and Vic Faust. And Vic, we are joined by Tiger basketball legend Kareem Rush. Kareem, how are you doing this morning?
I've heard of him.
I'm doing well. How you guys doing?
Doing well ourselves. And Kareem, Mizzou's got an interesting opening game, traveling to Howard, the second smallest stadium in Division I basketball in DC. What's that like for Dennis Gates and company to kind of? Yeah, you got us, Kareem?
Hello,
Kareem. Can you hear us? We can hear you.
You guys there?
Yeah, Kareem. All right, we might be having some technical difficulties with Kareem, but Vic, how excited are you for Mizzou basketball? You answer that while I try to get
Oh my
Kareem back
gosh,
on.
yeah, I can't wait to get Kareem. Here's the deal. Very excited, and Missouri fans should be. Dennis Gates has been an incredible recruiter, and he's got excitement very, very high, despite us not winning any games in the tournament the last few years. But he's got the pieces in place. We've already been told about with some of the other previous basketball people we've had on. Obviously, Mike Kelly, the voice, talking about, and Chris Gervino, the color, talking about how tall they are, how big they are, how talented they are, and deep. And we know Dennis Gates can coach. We've seen it. It didn't work out the last couple of years. We just see, or at least I'm seeing the makings of a different team. That's why I'm excited about what I see. So you get that opportunity mixed with the fact that Missouri has great basketball fans. We do. We get excited about our basketball. And you've got some bigger games coming up. Obviously, anytime you start the season, people start to look forward to these games. And when there's hype around Missouri, and there is hype, no, they're not in the top 25 now, but boy, oh boy, there's so much potential with this team.
All right, Kareem, can you hear us? I think we got you back on.
I'm there. You guys there?
Yes, sir.
Perfect. I was going to ask you, this feels like a pivotal year for Dennis Gates because, his first year they come in, they make the NCAA tournament. Second year, obviously they're winless in SEC play. Last year, make the NCAA tournament again. It feels like this is a year to really start stacking those wins, stacking tournament appearances, and hopefully wins in the tournament to really make Mizzou that kind of legit program again.
Yeah, I mean, you always want to, build off, a successful year previously. So, given that, what happened in second year and, you said what happened last year, you always want to keep, momentum moving forward, especially with the recruiting class we got coming in next year. There's a lot of hype, surrounding Missouri basketball and, which is, what we're looking for. So, yeah, it is a pivotal year. Every year you want to win, you want to improve on the last. Dennis is always trying to, solidify himself as the coach of the future, down in Mizzou. So again, but game one, let's see what happens.
So game one tonight against Howard. How big of a challenge is it traveling to DC to take on a school that There's no questions Missouri is better than, but kind of a weird road game. Only 4,000 people will be there. It's just, it's not normal to open a season like this. How does Gates get the team ready to play?
You guys there?
Yes. Can you hear us, Kareem? Oh, no.
Yeah, unfortunately, lost. We'll get Kareem back on again. Maybe it'll come back in with
Yeah,
the.
I'm here. I'm back.
Oh,
all right.
There we go. I was asking,
Yeah.
how big of a challenge is it to open your season at a place like Howard with only 4,000 people?
I think it's a challenge. I think that it goes on the anticipation of being the first game. Guys are going to be hyped. You obviously you want to start at home, but being a road team, you're going to have the fans there, rooting against you. So I think the excitement of being game one is going to, even though we will be the favorites, I think the anticipation of getting it started, have the guys ready to play.
Hey, Kareem, Vic Faust here. I hope that your expectations for this team are what I hear a lot of fans talking about. Like, this is a tournament team, no doubt about it, even though they're not coming into the season ranked in the top 25. What have you seen preseason, heard preseason, read, and or had a chance to talk to Dennis Gates about with this team?
I haven't. Yeah, I didn't watch the preseason game, so this is my first time. I'm gonna catch up today, so this will be my first game watching this year. I watched a lot towards the tail end of last year, so I know what we've lost in Tamar and Caleb and some of those guys. So it's going to be up to to Mark Mitchell, a lot of the new guys that are coming in to fill in some of those roles. But I'm excited to kind of see the new squad. I'm excited to see how Dennis leads them. But I know as a leader, Dennis going to have these guys ready to play. So I'm excited as a Tiger fan. I'm a fair weather guy. So regardless of how we do, I'm always going to be rooting for the Tigers. But we always want to see them, a tournament team like they were last year.
Hey, follow up real quick. You brought up Mark Mitchell. Is he the type of guy? Is he the type of talent that can be one of the best players in the SEC, leading this team, being their number one leader?
I mean, he showed flashes last year that he can be an offensive focal point for us. And I think, like I said, losing Tamar and Caleb, Mark's going to definitely have to be that, that initial leader. I think Ant Rob is going to play a huge part in that as well. So between those two guys, those guys have to lead the squad, with a lot of new guys coming in, with the transfer portal and the new faces. But I think those two can solidify, our roster and be the focal point starting on.
Kareem, I'm curious your opinion on the transfer portal, because obviously when you played, you had more time to kind of gel with your guys. If you were there as a freshman, you'd probably be there the next 2-3 years. Now it seems like in college basketball, you can basically have full roster turnover year to year. What's that challenge of guys like Mark Mitchell and Ant Rob, who have been there for 2-3 years now, to kind of be the leaders and help these new transfers gel into the team?
I mean, it's tough. I mean, because you can always look at this grass green on the other side. So, in this new age, it's just an incredibly tough job, for coaches to, build teams that are going to last more than 1 or 2 years. Like you said, I don't see guys, being in one university for more than 1 or 2, so for guys that have been there, like Mark, who's going on, his third year here, second year?
Second year here for Mark.
Second year, yeah. So guys like that, we're going to lean on, who's been here, who understand, Coach Gates, coaching schemes. And can lead some of these newer guys and kind of Mizzou way.
Yeah, and I think I'm just really curious. The SEC won't be as good as it was last year. I don't think any conference ever could
Not supposed to be,
but the way Missouri navigated that conference last year, I was so impressed. I think they get fifth place. Now it feels like there's that chance to be one of the best programs in the SEC, even with the conference. In the conference is Alabama, Arkansas, Florida, who won the national championship last year. It feels like Missouri could be right up there with those big names in the SEC.
You guys there? This is.
Oh, sorry, Kareem. You got me?
No, yeah. So, finishing top 5, like you said, the SEC was historically a great conference last year. I don't think they're, slated to be as good as they were, like you mentioned. But, again, we're top 5, so I don't think. Dennis is expecting anything less than that. We always want to improve and do better than the previous year. So, everyone's record is 0-0. We gotta let the ball go up and have the first tip off and see how things play out. But I'm encouraged, from last year and knowing Dennis and knowing the guys of how the season's going to turn out for us.
Kareem, I'm curious, how much improvement, what kind of a different team do you think we could see between game 1 and maybe game 3 or 4 in regards to improvement in a team that's playing together? The reason I ask is because they'll face their first other power conference team, in 10 days. They play Minnesota. Minnesota comes. and they won't be some just easy kick around team. I'm curious the improvement factor and how quick that usually happens for a team.
Yeah, I mean, it's a long season. I think getting out to some early wins, does great for your confidence. And then, like I said, it's a long year. So teams kind of go through, improvements in different metrics, through the course of the year. You may have a low stretch, but you also might, pull off 4 or 5 games, wins in a row. So at the end of the day, we want to make sure we play our best around the end of the year in tournament time. And with a new turnover and new players, it's going to take a little bit of time for all those guys to gel. But I think getting some early wins out the box, does a lot for that early confidence.
And Kareem, they have about a month from till this game, but I know you're a Kansas City guy, and Missouri plays Kansas this year in Kansas City. How hyped up are you for that game? Kind of the traditional every 3-4 years they play this one in KC. How hyped are you for that to be back in Kansas City?
I'm excited. Me and my brother will be there front center, wearing our opposing colors. But, for a Kansas City native, I was thrilled, that they brought that rally back a few years ago. So and to come back and do it in Kansas City where majority of my friends and high school friends were KU guys. So be able to, talk some trash to them like I was able to last year is always a good deal. But, being here in Kansas City is going to be a fun time. The city is very much a KU and MU town. So I'm sure it's going to be a great turnout for that game, and I'll be there.
I'm curious, Kareem, do you know what your record was against Kansas? And I'm not trying to bring up anything bad if it wasn't, but I know you personally had some really good games against Kansas.
I probably was like 1-5, maybe 1-6.
Yeah. But you played well against them, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. But they were a tough squad.
They were dominant.
I think we got to win my sophomore year down in Columbia. I played pretty well that game. But other than that, they got us.
Yeah.
Neither of you played well against Kansas then.
No,
Didn't you only have 1 win too, Vic?
Yeah.
That's okay. That's okay.
That's
they're getting some revenge now on the football and basketball court. Yeah, Kareem. I wanted to get your opinion on who can step into that Caleb Grill spot, because I think the easy answer is Jacob Cruz. And
Kareem was going to say 100%.
Yeah. He was going to say 100% to that.
He's like, wait, he's going to say, basketball. You can be coaching Mizzou's.
Oh, no.
Yeah, we lost Kareem on that sample.
Kareem.
That's all right. You just got to keep trying. You keep trying and going for it.
Yeah.
Sometimes the technical aspect of those things.
Some bad
I love
service.
the question. That's what Mark.
He says he wants to make 100 threes this year. Jacob Cruz does.
I didn't see that. How many shots is that going to take?
So he made, I think it was close to 50 last year.
Yeah, he had a good percentage.
100 is very tough to do. But if he's shooting as much as Caleb Grill did last year.
But correct me if I'm wrong. Didn't he take some weird shots in that final game when they lost to Butler?
To Drake.
To Drake.
Yeah. No.
I can't. I thought I remember seeing him.
Grill was definitely throwing up some shots in that game. You
Hail Marys, he was.
Get confused with our 3-point shooters. Yeah. But I think your question about Mark Mitchell was really spot on, because he is going, and I'll be curious how he reacts, because last year he had Bates and he had Grill, guys that, they couldn't throw a lot of bodies at Mitchell, because if they threw a one too many, they had shooters all over the place. So I think Mitchell, developing his mid-range a little bit more. Yep. We saw him make some threes last year, will be very important, but also it will take Jacob Cruz and Anthony Robinson to step up, and some other guys they got that we're not quite sure what they are yet. T.O. Barrett, what was his role be? Honor Boateng, the 2 sophomores, where will they be? Where will Trent Burns be? And then you have transfer guards like Sebastian Mack and Jaden Stone, who are prolific scorers. Oh, and you have star freshman 5-star Aaron Rowe joining the squad. It's going to be really, really interesting. But one guy that I think will endear himself to you, Vic, because I think you'll appreciate this type of player, is Sean Phillips Jr. He is a beast down low. He, only averages about 5 points a game.
Who cares?
Last year. He is a 7-foot beast out of Arizona State. Hey, a great defender as well.
Make 60 to 70% of your free throws, please.
Yes. Yeah.
Please. And outside of that, just do your thing down low. You got to have, yes, you can have a team aspect, but there's always got to be somebody who's good and your emotional leader. I loved watching Kobe Brown play a few years ago, 2 years ago. He was their leader. You knew it, because there's going to be times in a game and several times in a season where you're going to have to rely on that star player. And it seems like the best teams, the teams that go on Elite Eight runs and Final Fours, have that player that you can trust that draws all the attention. Is that Mark Mitchell? That's why I asked. I don't know. Can he be that Kobe Brown type of player? I don't know.
I don't know if he will be. I think he can be the player.
He's had glimpses. He had glimpses last year.
I think he can be the player on the court that does it. But Tamar Bates brought so much energy last year.
Great.
I think that might be a different.
Tamar was kind of the guy.
Yeah, because Mark is kind of your quiet, humble leader. I don't know, obviously, what he's like in the locker room, but at least on the court, he's a little more of the, I'm going to go out, I'm going to get my business done, I'm going to be a good teammate. Where Tamar was the one, wanted to hear it from the crowd, maybe given the Kansas, you're too little. You know, he was the one that was clapping, really. And while some people see that, oh, he's arrogant, cocky, it was more of, my team needs me more than just scoring.
But he made some big shots, too, when they needed him.
But Tamar was the guy that would get the team fired up. So that's going to have to be something new. And the problem is, too, Anthony Robinson II, maybe with some age, he's also a quiet leader.
Yeah, so he is.
I don't know a lot about Sebastian Mack or Jaden Stone besides what they do on the court, but it might need to be one of them. I think Theo Barrett is a guy who shows a lot of energy, high energy guy that could give some emotion to the squad. But I look at this roster, and this is part of the situation with walk-ons basically going away. Every single player on this team, probably besides Luke Northweather, will play.
I knew you were going with that.
They are 14 deep.
Well, Dennis Gates was playing a lot of people last year during the season. I mean, he had a deep bench.
And this is the time to do it. You don't need to shrink your rotation yet. Keep everyone fresh, play everyone 10, 15 minutes. And then once Minnesota comes, once Kansas comes, that's when you start
even
shrinking
before
the role.
Yeah, well, you got Minnesota your fourth game, and then I think it's maybe the sixth or seventh game you have Notre Dame.
I believe it's the 9th game Notre Dame, 10th game Kansas.
And then 9th game, and then 10th game Kansas. So you've got, those are your three toughest games in the first 10.
Illinois too, though.
Right after.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, at the end of December, but you've got opportunities to show who you are early on. And that's why we're all excited. We are. I mean, and I don't think there's any reason for Missouri fan not to be and have really good expectations. You're talking about going into what? You're number 4 now.
Yeah.
You're number 4 for Dennis Gates. And the recruiting aspect of it, let's go. We got to get some playoff wins, some tournament wins.
And I'm not saying I need, if they don't make the Final Four or Elite Eight this year, it's a bust. But I think the goal should be get in the tournament and win a tournament game. Because that's how first year they win the tournament game, lose to Princeton.
Correct.
Awful. Then they're the worst SEC team, 0-18, terrible in year number 2. Now this is when it's put up or shut up. Last year you make it, you get upset in the NCAA tournament. Can we stack that? Can we be a 5 or 6 seed again? And then it's like, okay, Missouri, here we go, getting some momentum. Then maybe year 5 with that elite recruiting class coming in there.
I just thought back about losing last year to Drake, and my stomach just was turning again.
My stomach turns more from Princeton.
But that's exactly where I was going. I was like, it makes me think back to how bad that was last year, but I wasn't quite sure who they were going into that game. The Princeton game was the one. It's like, oh my God, Kobe Brown, you guys were done from Princeton. And I sat there watching that game with my son going, you've got to be kidding me. I was dumb for taking him to the Sweet 16.
Now, something though, I think this could be the first time we see Dennis Gates. He wants long, lengthy guards who can get in pickpockets, steal the ball, play good.
He's got one of the best defenders in the country in Ant Rob.
And yes, exactly. And then on top of it, get the transition going. I think that's what they have, because I think the year 1 they weren't good on defense. They scored 100 points, and they got steals. When they got steals, they scored, but they weren't good at preventing points. Last year, they were a little too tiny down low. This year, they got some size. They got some forward size as well. I think they're going to be a tough out, even if they aren't always the most talented team. When you look at the Floridas and the Kentuckys and the
I like the way that sounds. Keep talking. It sounds good. I'm imagining them winning at least one now in the tournament, getting into the tournament and winning at least one.
They might be out
because it makes sense,
but I think that they're going to be well coached and a lot of guys will be in the right spot.
I don't want to see Missouri being a team that falls back. Make your free throws. Don't play stupid basketball because you have too much talent to lose games. You have too much talent on this team to lose games if you're not stupid and beat yourself.
So Missouri has 3 games in 6 days. Basically, they go at Howard today. They open their home opener Friday against SEMO, then Sunday against VMI at home. And then that Wednesday game, you said they'll be a favor against Minnesota.
Hosting.
But they're hosting Minnesota. It'll be a big time, first real test.
Mm-hmm.
And that's going to be the game to really, I think that will be a good barometer of where Missouri's at. Because then you got 4 games against teams that will be pushovers. And then it's Notre Dame, Kansas. So you got to get Notre Dame, Kansas, and then 2 games in between, then Illinois. And then you're right into it. Once you get to that Illinois game, it's Illinois. Then
and then, of course, we're going to have to wait and see what the SEC shapes up to be. Because at the beginning of last year, we knew the SEC was going to be good, but nobody knew it was going to be as good as it was.
No.
It proved to be better. We think the SEC is going to be good, but how good is it going to be again?
Yeah. Florida's
Time will tell.
Lost a lot, but they are the defending national championships. Todd Golden's got a great team down there.
Coach.
So not a great guy, but he can coach. So Mizzou goes to Howard. They are, I believe, 20-point favorites. I think they'll be right around that. I have no reason to believe they shouldn't be.
I wouldn't even know yet. Just like Kareem said, you got to see him play tonight first.
Just win by 10-15. Let's get out of DC and
play a lot of players.
Yeah, exactly. Well, he's Vic Faust. Thanks to Kareem Rush. No, the call didn't go great, but when he was able to hear us, the answers were great. Missouri plays on Saturday against Texas A&M football. 3 Mizzou basketball games. There'll be a ton of coverage on STL Sports Central, and we'll have more coverage here on Mizzou Central on Wednesday and Friday, same time. For Vic Faust, I'm Grant Salzman. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in. Up next, it's Charlie Tuna and the Posse.
Hey, Kat, summer's winding down, but I keep thinking, my backyard is weak, man. I need a pool and maybe